Radio Kent on a Friday morning, 10 to 11. Matt Davidson's back with me. Matt, of course, knows all about his footy. He's a footy fiend. Tunbridge Angels, I believe, Matt, isn't it?
That's my team, yeah.
That's your team, yeah. But, of course, a big one for Maidstone.
Everybody at Tunbridge wishes Maidstone well.
I bet they do, yeah.
A bit of rivalry there.
So, yeah, big weekend for Maidstone, isn't it?
It's huge. And it's the biggest week in the FA Cup for Kent for many, many, many years. It's been Kent's year in the FA Cup. I was lucky enough to follow a little bit of Ramsgate's journey, and they got through to the second round, and they made the television, and that was great as well. Maidstone are doing the same.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, and we can wish the Stones all the best. And I'm going to predict a score at the end of our little chat here. But even before this cup run, Maidstone United were praised for their community work, Matt, weren't they? One example of that is their partnership with the Cornwallis Academy in the town, which has, of course, got huge connections with the club. Joe Sutton is from the Cornwallis Academy, joins us on BBC Radio Kent. Joe, thanks for this. Tell us about the connection then between the club and the school. It's been ongoing for quite a while, hasn't it?
Hi, good morning. Thanks very much for having me. Yes, it has. We've been lucky enough to be working with Maidstone for the past 5 to 6 years. It began with an initiative really for post-16 learners to continue with education and play football at a competitive level, in addition to being coached by some of the first team. And as that grew stronger and stronger, it became a much more endemic part of the school, really. We have scholarships that run in years 7 to 11, where the students are assessed on their football ability and join our scholarship programme. And the first team players from the club come to our new 3G pitch facility to provide the coaching, and they take them to their fixtures, home or away. It really has been a fantastic draw for the school.
So, Joe, do you mean you've got your own 3G pitch there as well as Maidstone having theirs?
We have. It was, I'm very proud of this one. This was an initiative that we started to look into about 2 years ago with the support of the club. It took a lot of time and effort in the planning stages and going through the council and everything else. But we opened it finally in the summer of last year, and it has been, well, it's a fantastic resource for the school, and it's a fantastic resource for the community.
And do you have exclusivity here, Joe? Are you the only school in the Maidstone area to have such a partnership with the club?
We're the only school in the area that has the scholarship programme running with the club. The Maidstone FC community side do an incredible amount of coaching with primary schools and other local schools, but we are the deal we have with them in terms of the scholarships and the post-16 academy is really exclusive to us, I'm pleased to say.
With a lot of those people who are involved in that partnership, my understanding of how this type of community programme works is that a lot of the time they're playing football, but a lot of the time the academic work that they would do normally in the 16 to 18 age group is still very important as well. But I'm imagining they all prefer the football to the classroom.
Well, yeah, do you know what? For the truth of that matter, I'd probably have to refer you to Billy Jones, who heads up the academy at Maidstone. But we work incredibly closely together. We speak on the phone at least 1 or 2 times a week, and we meet in person. Yes, the boys that play for the 16 to 18, they're obviously passionate about their football, but it is very much an academic sporting mixture. So they will complete a 2 to 3 A-level equivalent in a sport BTEC. So it really sort of rounds them off. Then we have a number that go into coaching. Some make it through into the first team. Some go off to university. It allows for the sport, but it is very much academically focused as well.
An awful lot of those people involved in that will not become professional full-time footballers, and even those who become part-time, it's a career that only really takes you to your sort of early 30s. How hard is it to drill into people who want to be professional footballers that academic work is very important?
Do you know, that's such a salient question. I am just, at the moment, I've been speaking to the first team manager, George Alakovi, and some senior representatives of the club, for George to come in and do a talk on exactly that issue, that, you know, making it to the very highest level at football is incredibly competitive. You're talking about such a small percentage of those that make it professionally, let alone to a high level professionally. So just how important having that academic background is as well, to ensure that there are options. That's one of the words we use to the students throughout the school a lot. It's about having options. And when you leave, be it at 16, but you know, obviously most of them at 18, 19, it's about if if the dream can't be realised in a professional footballing capacity, then there's got to be something else to fall back onto. And I think given the impact that George has had on the local community, on the first team and the Cornwallis community, he'd be the perfect person to come and deliver that, particularly to our exam year groups in year 11 and year 13. And I have pressed him as well whether or not he could do a bit of a talk to the parents, but I think he's a bit busy at the moment, so I can't get him to commit.
And how often do the pupils at the Cornwallis Academy, Joe, get to question the players at Maidstone United? Do they get sort of first-hand sort of advice from them at all?
They see them each week. Part of the program, part of the scholarship program, is that they have an after-school coaching session and an in-school coaching session, which are run by first-team players. And we've got different players that are associated with different year groups. So, you know, for instance, Sam Bone, I think, was covered on BBC recently on the news programme, where he was coaching a range of the scholars. So they get to interact with them literally every week. And part of the package is also they go to do some training sessions at the Gallagher, which are run by the Academy of First Team as well. So it's pretty constant. They speak to them all the time.
Okay. Can't let you go, Joe, without a little prediction for the weekend. What do you think's the final score?
I knew you'd ask this. I am going to be optimistic. I'm going to go 2-1 Stones.
2-1. Oh. Do you know, I said that earlier, didn't I?
You did say that earlier, yeah. How excited is your school about this whole cup run, Joe?
Oh, it is the student body at the moment. It is the talk of the students. They're incredibly proud of the players, the partnership, the town, and obviously everybody here wishes them the very best.
Great. Okay. Listen, lovely to talk to you. Enjoy the match of the weekend, won't you? Joe Sutton, of course, from Cornwallis Academy, on the partnership that Cornwallis have with Maidstone United. Little prediction, Matt, 2-1, you reckon?
I think it'd be a bit harder than that for Maidstone United. Ipswich are a very, very, very good team.
Okay.
They're going to be beating much bigger sides than Maidstone United in games this season. So.
I'm going to stick with 2-1 all the way through. All right. Okay. Up to the news with Genesis.